What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, January 24th, 2025. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, fixed air moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. Well, we got the moon out of Scorpio on this Friday, and it is in Sagittarius, so I don't know, kind of that rise of the phoenix. I don't know, it can definitely feel more expansive, a little bit less constricted, consolidated. Hopefully Thursday was a good day for you. There was good aspects to the energy in Pisces, so kind of can come into this, maybe more hopeful, kind of looking at things in a broader spectrum. Could amplify emotions in some way, but I think overall it's trying to definitely feel like a lot more is possible than what isn't possible, especially coming off the intensity of a Sun Pluto conjunction. Mercury is in that trine over to Uranus, and the moon is going to oppose Jupiter in Gemini, which is dispositing that moon. So, I don't know, where there's so much hope and so much positivity, there's also the truth of the matter and the fact of the matter. And I think you got to find a good balance point about what's fact, what's belief, and just do your best to not be too, whether it's emotionally dogmatic or, so kind of stuck on one thing. Be as mutable as possible and be like, oh, okay, I can definitely shift and change things today in my personal life based on what's showing up, or our truths can get expanded in some way, and we want to be open to expanding of that based on maybe new information, or something kind of showing up to change that. The moon's also going to make really good aspects to Pluto and the sun. It's going to sextile them, early in the morning with Pluto, and then midday about with the sun, early in the morning, midday on the East Coast. But definitely a nice waning sextile that I think is super freedom oriented with Aquarius season here, and the moon in Sag is like we're definitely trying to expand past things that have limited us, and I think we're trying to feel like the innovation of life is possible, and there can be a strong sense of like hope, and we're waning out of this Capricorn lunation, so can feel like things have been so restrictive. Today can kind of feel like, again, like weight is being dropped off. And today we're not going to be dealing with the moon Saturn square. That's going to happen early tomorrow morning. So definitely not a bad, deal there. The moon's trying to definitely, I think everything's like shifting to a more positive outlook going into the weekend, and kind of like the future and where things can go. Venus is trining Mars and also getting ready to sextile Uranus. So there's a little sextile triangle to Uranus from Venus and Mars, which I think is like very creative and wants to kind of innovate. It wants to find some liberation of quality. And I think it wants to feel that in a deep emotional way, and it wants to act on those feelings, but it also wants to feel the sensual side of it and the physicality. So it's this kind of cool mix of this like spiritual, emotional, and physical um, sort of turn. It's sort of like, whoa. All of a sudden, this insight kind of comes in, and it's like it can be very intuitive, and it's almost like knowing that the evolution is taking place, kind of knowing that something's innovating and moving us forward for better quality. So I do like the astrology today a lot, actually, and I think it's a good Friday to not be like overly hopeful, but to also kind of like let's let's free ourselves. Let's find some liberation today, so that we can feel better. We can be in more of a flow. We can feel more safe in our bodies to act upon our intuition. Today's like really positive for that, and I think there's a lot of insight trying to drop in one way or another, and I think being open to sort of where that is trying to go is so important, because we can block things all we want as we finish this Capricorn lunation, but let's like try to open the box a little. It's like open Pandora's box a little bit, if you will, and kind of see what is out there, even though it can kind of feel like, I don't know, I want to do it. Today's like definitely trying to expand our emotions and our consciousness in a way that opens doors, and it's always, I think it does, like there's a lot of choice in the astrology right now too. Like we get the choice to go through a door that's opening, or we get the choice to kind of close the door and walk away from it. And that's going to depend on your own personal, truths and feelings and beliefs on the matter. But it's okay. Trust your trust your emotions, trust your intuition, act on those things. If a door looks too good to be true, well, you know what? There's something to say about today. It might be too good to be true. But if you feel like there's something there on the other side that's going to be more valuable, beneficial for your life, like, well, it might be worth it to take a little gamble and a little risk and use a little bit of that faith to walk through the door. So trust yourself. I think intuition's high today, but there's also a logical sense with Mercury and Uranus that I think the intuition and the logic are going to actually be a lot more grounding in the intuition, and they're going to kind of try their best to sync up. You just got to find your own little middle ground, I suppose. I hope you have a great Friday, though. Definitely a little lighter energy than we've been feeling. Moon comes into Sag, and I pick up my Sag from school, and he's going to expand my personal life today, that's for sure, for the next week. A little bit more. His mom's going to Spain. So, extended week with Dad coming up. All right. The Four of Cups in reverse. Kind of fitting. This always reminds me of like God's trying to offer you something great, but we can almost be a little pessimistic, a little negative because of the intensity that's been felt. We might want to say, no, I don't want that. But it's like there is something being offered today that's very special. So I feel like we want to be very in tune today to grab that special thing instead of looking at things like nothing's good enough or nothing can be better or change or kind of take the next step. Things can definitely take the next step, but you got to be willing to make the choice to take the offering from the universe. And it could be anything from a feeling to an intuitive hit to a physical thing actually showing up, or a person even that's like trying to kind of ignite some kind of emotional response to get some movement. So take the offering when it comes. I think this card's kind of saying don't pass up on the offering. Don't be afraid of the offering. All right. I love you all. Have a beautiful Friday. I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.